This is my top 10 list of games I want for Christmas. What? It's not what I want. It's what I got to give. You got to give stuff? Ugh, fine. Top 10 I'll give for Christmas. Hey guys, I'm Tim, and this is the Board Game Rundown. And today, it's just a simple little list. 10 games that I think would make excellent Christmas gifts this year. So I've got 10 games, and they're going to cross sort of a strata. They're going to have some heavier ones in there. Nothing like super heavy, but a few things that are a little more complicated, down to some very family-friendly, fun, light games. Because sometimes when you're giving games as gifts, for me, it's like, how do I get people that don't necessarily love like a ton of heavier games? How do I get them, keep them interested in the hobby like I am, and keep them engaged and playing with me, sitting at the table, whenever, whatever holiday gathering and whatnot. So I'm just going to start at 10 and go down to 1, and they are numbered because they need to be, but maybe not in any particular order. Number 10 from Mayday Games, you've heard us talk about it a ton, is Ahoy Kitten. We play the crap out of this game. I just played this game. I can always say that. I just got done playing this game because I probably did. But in Ahoy Kitten, it's very simple. You're going to have a number of tiles, one fewer than the number of players. They're going to have fish on them. We go 1, 2, 3, we point. And if you are the only one pointing at that tile, you get those fish. And at the end, you're going to be set collecting. You're going to get points for your fish. And of course, you can steal from your friends and family, because what fun would it be if you couldn't? So Ahoy Kitten for the price, tons of fun in that little box. Just buy it. It's great. And a very low rules overhead. My number 9 is from DeVere Games. It's recently been reprinted, so it's a lot easier to get now, and that is Cockroach Poker. This game's a blast, and you're just lying to everybody all the time, or you're telling the truth, whichever one you want, and you can mix and match. Basically, what you're trying to do is there's 8 different bugs or critters that are on these cards. You've got a deck full of them. Everybody's got a handful of cards, and you are basically, I'm gonna put this spider down, the spider card down, and I'm gonna slide it over to this person who's not sitting there. And I'm gonna say, that's a rat. And they're going to have to call my bluff. If they guess correctly, if they go, that's not a rat, and they flip it over, and of course it was a spider, now that spider comes over in front of me. If I get 4 of one kind of critter in front of me, I lose. If I have to give somebody a card and I can't, I lose. Everybody else wins. And that's basically how it goes. There's like one other rule in there, but we're not going to get into it. This game's super fun. It's bluffing and lying, and it plays very fast. It's you win or lose, you re-rack, you go again. And we never play this game just one time. We always play 2 or 3 rounds of it every time. Number 8. This game is kind of came out of nowhere for me, but I really, really, really love it. It might be one of my favorite games from All Play right now, and that is Mountain Goats. You've got a series of numbers, all in there. They've got these cards, and they're worth points. And you've got these little mountain goats down at the bottom, and you're going to roll 4 dice, and you're going to group up the dice together to make as many values as you can. And then, so if I group together 2 3s and then a 6 and a 3, well, I can move my mountain goat up the 6 track once, and then I can move that other mountain goat up the 9 track once. If they get all the way up to the top of the mountain, there's a little point token up there they can take. If they stay at the top of the mountain and you get it, that number again, you get another one of those point tokens. But if you can get all of the different numbers, you get an extra 15 points, but that stack gets smaller as you go. And then you play until 3 of those coin or token point token stacks are gone. It's very straightforward. It's very simple. It's fun to get up to the top because only one goat can be at the top of the mountain. So if you get up to the top, you kick that other goat all the way down to the bottom. And so that's a good way to kind of get up there, stop them from ringing in all them points all the time, and then like let you have some fun too. But Mountain Goats, really good from all play, very reasonably priced, and super easy to teach and learn. Strong recommend. Number 7. So I'm going to go to Kids Table Board Games for this one. And this is a little heavier, a little more complicated, requires a little more setup. But I'm going to go with Fossilis because this game does some very cool things. First of all, the board you set up, you put all these, it's like a big plastic tray, and you put all these little dinosaur bones sprinkled all in there. You make sure there's some in each little compartment. And then over that, you're going to lay over all of these little tiles and these sand and rock tiles. And then you're going to move your guy around, and you're going to be knocking down these little tiles and clearing them out. And then you're going to be pulling out with little tweezers, out of the mine site. You're going to be picking up these little dinosaur bones. This game is super cool. The aesthetic is awesome. Looks great on the table. It's not that hard to learn. Now, it's a little harder, right, than Mountain Goats and Cockroach Poker and Ahoy Kitten. Sure. But you will be very well rewarded for reading that rule book and playing through. This is a very cool game. It's really well made, and we're just big fans of it. I really like it. I actually don't have this game. Or somebody else in our group got the review copy, and so I need to actually get this game for myself, so it's in my collection because I really enjoy it. Number 6. This one's from the op, and also kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm almost offended that it did because I've got a good relationship with the op. I like the people over there. They, for some reason or another, like us. But this game, I did not hear about from the op. I heard about from a friend of the show, and we played Da 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 at a convention, and then we played it again and again and again and again and again. And then I bought it, and we played it again and again and again. Da 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 is so much fun. You are lining up these cards that are basically syllables, sounds. And then you've got all these little picture cards that you're going to put around, and then everybody kind of, without talking, other than using the sounds on the table, do, and you're lining up the cards, trying to get everybody to agree on the groupings, right? So then once you've put all those cards and kind of assigned them to all these different sounds, now you've kind of formed like a basis for a language. Then you're going to draw a card, and you're going to say a sound where you think it goes, right? So I might go fuh, and everybody's going to go, okay, but they can't see the card yet. Then you're going to draw a couple more cards, shuffle them all together, and now everybody's got to look at the cards and try to guess which one was yours and put it in the f spot. It's really fun, and lots of laughing and arguments. It's the best. It's the best kind of game. It's rowdy, and you're standing up and everybody's making dumb noises, and people that aren't playing the game are like, what is going on over there? It's my favorite thing. Number 5 is from Spin Master Games. I love this game. I will say I think that unfortunately the American version has like slightly weaker components, but the game's very well priced, and that is Comic Hunters. This game is drafting the game. It's all different kinds of ways that you can draft these comic book covers, which then you are going to score points as set collection, because, I mean, what better thing to collect in a set collection game than frickin' comic books? And they've got original art from all these awesome different comic book covers. And they're also going to have different tags on them, which are going to give you different ways to score points. But really the magic and the fun in this game is the way that you scoop up those comics. Whether you're building out rows and then somebody kind of calls a stop and picks up a whole row, you can be sliding them around and then grabbing all of like the Black Panther comics out of that row. I mean, there's just so many different cool ways to get these comics, add them to your collection. I freaking love this game. It's great. The only thing about it though is it makes me really sad because I used to own a bunch of these comics that are probably worth money now, and I was 7, 8, 9 years old, and it's like I didn't care about comics being worth money then. I just wanted to read what Spider-Man was doing that week. But Comic Hunter is really cool. Really glad it got a US release. I just wish the components were like a little better because they're pretty chintzy. But the game is great. I love the game so much that I will just say overlook that and play the damn game. It's really good. Number 4, maybe my favorite game from Trick or Treat Studios. It's an Emerson Matsuuchi design, so you know it's good. And it's based on John Carpenter's second best movie, Halloween. Halloween is so much fun. I really enjoy this game quite a bit. It's a 1v many. Somebody's playing as Michael Myers and everybody else is playing as the babysitters and trying to find them dang kids and the car keys so you can get the heck out of there. This game is really fun. It's really interesting because everybody, all the babysitters, right? We all know where each other are. We're jumping in and out of windows in different houses and we're running around, but we don't see Michael. He's lurking secretly. He's tracking his movement on his own board. And when you end your movement, your facing matters because your sight line is what you can see. So if Michael walks across your sight line, maybe you see him for a minute, but maybe you didn't realize that he was right behind you and about to stab the crap out of you. This game is really fun. I really enjoy this game. Trick or Treat Studios has a lot of fun games over there. Halloween just happens to be my favorite. And what better way to celebrate Christmas with everybody's real favorite holiday, Halloween? Number 3 is from 25th Century Games. This game is a blast. It's insane, and I love it. We were playing this at a convention, and everybody at the table is chanting, sausage, sausage, sausage. And people are like, what the heck's going on over there? And that's because we were playing Sausage Sizzle. This is a reprint of a classic, but you know, it's an Australian barbecue where you're grilling up sausages and you're rolling dice. It's sort of like Yahtzee style. You're going to roll your dice. You got to lock one. You can roll as many times as you want, as long as you lock at least one die. Here's the thing is you're going to have 4 dice with animals on them and 4 dice with numbers. And the numbers go from 2 to 5 with 2 sausages on each one. So what's going to happen is on the animal dice, you've got tiles of 6 different animals. You could, when you are done rolling all your dice, you're going to look at your animals and you're going to look at your numbers. You're going to multiply the number on the number die times however many animals you're trying, or of one animal that you're trying to score. So, but you can only score each animal one time. So choose wisely on which animals. So, you know, if I've got 2 crocodiles and I haven't used my crocodiles yet, well, I'm going to score them. Now, that's going to be 2 of them. Let's say I have 2 of them times the lowest number of the 4 dice that I have saved over here. So if I saved 4 5s, no problem. 2 times 5, 10 points. Great. If I saved 3 5s, but I ended up with a 2, I'm going to get 2 times 2 points because that's the lowest number. Sausages are worth 1 point. Unless you have all sausages, then it's worth 7 points. So there's this real fun give and take of trying to push your luck with the sausages. It's so much fun. And again, chanting sausage at each other. Oh, it's amazing. Number 2, heaviest game on my list, but very approachable. And I think even more because as I was making the list, I thought about this and I'm like, so if people like Everdell, yeah, that's a great game and everything. But how about a game that's cheaper than Everdell, I think, and even more fun and better replayability. And now you're going to have that game from an indie designer and publisher. But it kind of is going to still kind of give you a little bit of Everdell vibes. I'm talking about if you don't know, you should, amazing game from BA Games, and that's Forges of Ravenshire. In this game, we are trying to become Forge Master, and you're going to be one of these really fun-looking little critters, and you're going to be trying to craft the best weapons and armor that you can to win the game, to get points. But this game's super cool. You've got a player board with your own little engine on it, right? Your own little forge. On one side are like the guilds, and that's what's going to give you stuff to begin with. And then the other side is your actual forge itself, where you're going to convert resources into other things and then buy items, right? You're going to smelt your stuff, and yeah, it's really good. It's really good because what you're going to do is you got these dice and they're different colors. And when you're going to place a die on the board in an empty spot, and depending on that die value, it's going to give you something on that space. You're going to grab those resources and add them to your pool. Then you're going to pick from anywhere else on the board. It just can't be the die you placed. A die up off the board, and you're going to put it on that one side, on that left side of your board for the guild. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get whatever it is from the die value and that space that you picked up. You're going to add that, and then you're going to get anything showing in the column that you place that die. And that's just the first half of the game. And then you're going to put that die over on the other side. You're going to assign those dice, and depending on the pip values, and get all kinds of stuff. This sounds super complicated the way I'm explaining it poorly, but trust me, this game is easy to teach. There's stuff going on, but I don't feel like it's overwhelming. And because of the nature of like how you're doing stuff, this game goes very fast because everybody can, once I pulled off that die and I'm doing stuff on my board, the next player can start going, and they're not eating into any of your game time at all. Because by the time you finish running all your stuff, it's probably going to be real close to being your turn again. So really fun, really satisfying. Absolutely love this game. You know, I full disclosure, I do love the people that made this game. That like they're just awesome people. But this game is just so dang good. If you want to try to like bridge that gap, you know, and get into, you know, maybe get somebody into like a little bit of a heavier game, this is a really good one because it doesn't feel as heavy as it kind of is because everything is so straightforward and the iconography is really good. And it's also just really cool to look at. The boards are really great. The artwork's great. I love this game so much. Number one has to be my most played game of the year. And I have only been playing it since Gen Con, or not even that, since QsCon. So even less than that. I played it for the first time in September. This game kind of came out at Gen Con, and it is so good. It's so much fun. It is Flip 7 from the Op. This game's a blast. And what you're trying to do is you're just playing to 200 points. How do you get 200 points? Super easy. I'm going to deal the top card of the deck in front of you. And if you pause right there, let's say it's an 11, and you stop, don't take any more cards, you get 11 points. Awesome. But now you're not going to get any more cards while everybody else is going. But if you want another card, I'll give you one. So a board will go around. You want one? All right, I'll give it to you. If it's another 11, you bust. You get nothing. But if it's a different number, or maybe one of those specialty cards, which gives you like a power or multiplier or some bonus points, you just keep rocking and rolling. And yeah, you're going to go around and go around and go around. Once everybody's out, you write down all the points and you start again. Boom, boom, boom. Go around. If you can manage to get 7 number cards in front of you without busting, you're going to get 15 bonus points, and it immediately ends the round. And the card distribution is very straightforward. There's 12 12s, 11 11s, all the way down to 1 1, and there is 1 0 because it's fun to have a 0 in there, but you can't have 0 zeros and still have a 0 card, right? But Flip 7 is absolutely incredible, super fun, rowdy time. We played this a bunch over Thanksgiving, so 100% buying this game for people at Christmas time because A, it's not that expensive, and even non-gamers are going to just have an absolute blast with that game. It's so freaking good. But so congrats on the Op. You got 2 games on my Christmas list, and there could have been a third one probably pretty easily. But yeah, man, these are definitely games that I would give as Christmas presents, and I think just to just about any level of gamer, because I didn't want to go like super heavy, but I didn't want to have them all be like light party games either. So I tried to find a balance of some of games with really satisfying choices and stuff that I would want to sit at the table and play with people as well. What games are you giving as gifts for the holidays? Comment, but don't tag who you're giving them to because we don't want to spoil, anything. Also, these would make great Secret Santa gifts. But that's my list. And I hope this was helpful, interesting, and most of all, I really appreciate you watching. So for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.